Her voice echoes in my thoughts, as clear as if it still bounced off the walls of the home we once shared. She declared that friendship outranked love, her words airy, almost dismissive, as the faint light from her phone illuminated her face. In the background, her friend's laughter poured through the call, a lively chorus of untroubled voices. It wasn't just her statement that wounded me. It was the careless tone, the way her gaze remained glued to the screen, as if I were already fading into the shadows of her world. I didn't argue, didn't plead, didn't ask her to reconsider her priorities. I stood frozen, the clock's steady ticks overpowering her voice. When the silence between us became unbearable, I made a decision she never expected. I began packing my belongings. That night, I left without a single word, without a note, without even the sharp sound of a door slamming. I wasn't merely leaving her. I was walking away from the man who had tolerated her half-truths, her excuses, her indifference. I was abandoning the version of myself who had loved her far more than she ever deserved. We had spent 7 years together, 3 of them sealed by marriage. To outsiders, we were the ideal couple. Spark, connection, smiles that appeared effortless, not forced. For a while, it was real. For a while, she was mine, and I was hers. But then her friends entered our lives, a carefully curated group thriving on attention and drama. They weren't genuine friends. They were spectators, vultures circling for any sign of discord. And she invited them into our world. Every intimate moment, every vulnerability, every disagreement. They knew it all, often before I did. I should have noticed the warning signs sooner. The late nights out with her group, the sudden need for secrecy, the messages she protected like state secrets. But love blinds you, wrapping red flags in soft cloth, convincing you everything is fine, that she'll come back to you until she doesn't. That night, when her words struck me, I didn't just suspect the truth, I understood it. She had chosen them over me long before she admitted it. Her allegiance had shifted, no longer mine. I'd caught glimpses of the hushed conversations in group chats she forgot to mute. The photos where I was the target of their mockery. Through their perspective, I saw myself as they did. An inconvenience, a joke, the overly serious husband they ridiculed for not joining their shallow games. And the worst part, she laughed with them. She joined their cruel chorus. My wife, my partner, my betrayer. The anger burned fiercely, but beneath it lay something quieter, more piercing. A clarity I hadn't felt in years. Anger roars, clarity whispers. And that whisper urged me. Don't argue. Don't confront her. Don't warn her. Just leave, and let her face the consequences. So I did what she never foresaw. I disappeared. Within days, I had secured a new apartment, arranged during one of my frequent business trips. A quiet refuge she knew nothing about. I had been cautious, almost instinctively, as if some part of me had been preparing for this moment. Untangling our finances was simple. I had accounts she didn't know existed. She thought herself clever, bragging to her friends about her modest savings, unaware that the life she enjoyed, our home, her comforts, her small luxuries, depended on resources she'd lose the moment I walked away. A quick call to the bank, a withdrawal from our joint account, a favor from a lawyer friend. By the time she realized I was gone, her cards were worthless. I didn't block her. That would have been too merciful. I left the door slightly open, letting her stumble into the emptiness I'd left behind. She didn't come searching immediately. Pride kept her at bay for 3 days. But then, as expected, she and her posse arrived, descending on my new haven like a victorious procession. From my balcony, I watched them spill out of 2 cars, their laughter strained, her voice louder than the others, trying to hide her unease. I let them knock. I let them call my name. I let their shouts reverberate through the door. When their pounding grew frantic, I opened it, calm in control, dressed in a suit as if I'd been expecting a business meeting, not a showdown. The shock on her face, followed by rage, was worth every sleepless night she'd caused me. You can't just leave like that, she snapped, her friends lingering behind her like a backup chorus. I already have, I replied, my voice even, no need for shouting. You're pathetic, one of them sneered. I turned to her, unwavering. No, pathetic is depending on a man you mock to sustain your lifestyle. Pathetic is pretending loyalty to a group that'll scatter the moment the drinks stop flowing. Pathetic, I said, locking eyes with my wife, is mistaking fleeting companionship for love and realizing too late what you truly needed. Her face drained of color. Her friend's nervous laughter faltered. Then I delivered the final strike. By the way, I said, calmly picking up an envelope from a nearby table, the divorce papers are filed. Check your mail. And since everything was in my name, you might want to ask one of your friends here if their couch is available for a while. The silence was deafening, sharp as a blade. Her eyes darted to her friends. Not one stepped forward. Not one offered her support. They shuffled, uneasy. Realizing the performance was over, the music silenced. She tried to speak, her lips trembling, but no words came. I closed the door, slowly, gently, as if sealing her out of my life forever. She tried to claw her way back, of course, calls, emails, even apologies. But apologies born of desperation are empty. She wasn't sorry. She was stranded. Her crew? They vanished. Without the free dinners, the drinks, the weekends funded by my efforts, their bond dissolved like mist. She was left with nothing but the echoes of her own choices. I didn't take pleasure in it. Revenge isn't a glass of champagne or a burst of fireworks. It's the stillness that follows, the void where chaos once reigned. Sometimes her words echo in my mind. Friendship comes first, love can wait. They'll be there when you're gone. And each time, I smile because she was right. Her friends were there, briefly, just long enough to watch her fall apart. I didn't need to yell or fight back. I simply vanished. In that absence, she unraveled herself. Justice, I learned, doesn't always require action. Sometimes it arrives in silence.